Well, just caught that perfectly in time. The boys do want to get started, and I will fill people in on the details as they drop in. But this is Snail v Rhandoss in one of their final matches in group stage for round 2. Hope everybody is well, and I am very much looking forward to bringing you the action. Close that, I've not shared it. They are just letting the timer tick nicely. Why won't that go away? Go away. Share. Pearson messengers. On the right camera. Still loading in. We are with Snail. Rhandoss is getting nice curb boosting on the left side of the track, pulling a little bit away from Snail. Snail with a bit of a wobble onto the entry into the tube, has cost him some time, but he caught it very nicely, and it's a clean exit from both. Rhandoss keeps his lead, as my phone takes a while to do what I want it to. Very clean, that's it, by Snail, getting himself lined up nicely for the corner and goes through this wide corner, high speed, and he does appear to have caught it, some of that lost time to Rhandoss. Heavy on the brakes into the corners, we see Rhandoss just swinging to the left, a little slide from Snail is going to cost some of that time. Not too much though, and again, really clean through the tube there from Snail, getting the back tyres to meet just as the tube came into physicality for it. Really nice, clean, getting a little bit of extra curb, catching the last little corner of the boost. And this is me just finishing sharing it. I've managed to follow the action a little bit better than I do sometimes. And this is my last share. Again, I will give a huge congratulations to our man, I'm Tex. I believe second child, but he's just had lovely baby girl to welcome in to his family, and that is, I believe, I'm pretty sure, the first pro's baby. But hello Alex mate, nice to see you. Always is, you know it is. Rhandoss bricking on the exit of the tube, and that has cost him the lead as he barrels off the edge. Very unfortunate incident, the front of his car just catching, I believe it was, and it just sent him tumbling. We will see the tube transition through with Snail, and then we will swap on back. Yo, Fox Track, my man, and Rescue. I'll pass that on for you, Alex. You had a nice congratulations. Yet this is the first track. I was just starting the just finished starting the stream as they launched it. They didn't give me very much time. They're on it, and hello now. I can have a slight guess where Fox Track Rescue and the Now's vote may go. I'm guessing this is the Snail Brigade coming in. But Alex does slightly give it to Rhandoss. Okay, so good support between the two in the chat. Hello, Fuckstein, my dude. And here we go, going across the curves. We do see Rhandoss going and getting really nice brake boost at the top of the hill, lining himself up really nice into the tubes, clipping a last little bit. We still can't wait for these ribs. So far, we have seen 214.266 from Snail and 214.795, and that came on the first lap from Rhandoss. Very nice first lap, I believe. Maybe second lap for Snail, but without the big mistake, it would be quite close. You're allowed to arrange your 1v1s anytime from today. I know that I have just booked in Jack v Tuncer for 8:30 Monday, and then I have Luke versus Silver at 7 PM Wednesday. So you are now able to go ahead and book your match against Azzy. And the tracks were announced earlier. I will give them a little shout out as well as we come through to the final tube exit from Rhandoss. Really nice and clean. And the tracks for this week are Plymouth, that's Plymouth 1, Tier Race, Maze Bank and Green Machine. This is the last match so far booked in. King Fetz has forfeited his points over to Matt, so that match has been cancelled, and I believe that with Spartacus not being able to get into touch too much, we are going to have to award the points across to his opponent, Speed Demon, if we're unable to arrange the match in the next day or two at the latest. But Alex happy with the track choices. They know a decent selection, good lad. Snail does take a first race win, which will allow his nerves to settle down slightly. Rhandoss may just slightly be disappointed that the exit on the second tube, first tube, is a little bit rough on him and sent him off barreling into the city below. But we did see the 210.584 from Rhandoss, showing that his best lap, again, far below my own. I believe I did manage to hit low 215 or a 214 is what I'm at. I have got my screenshots, I'm just not the best at remembering the specific times on all the tracks. It is somewhere around there, so a good 4.5, 5 seconds quicker. Snail was able to be nice and consistent, tidy through the track, got clean, nice exits. Nice, Alex. Nah, man, I don't take it as flexing. Very, very nice. 212 first lap, lad. As you know me, I'm all about the positivity myself. I occasionally have a joke about my career being ended before it's begun, but it is a light little bit of banter. And with me being able to have a joke at myself, I think it allows me a little bit more flexibility when I do have a little bit more critical eye occasionally, and I have a little joke. Certainly my mates Jack, Luke and the like. Silver, I'm able to give him a little bit of bants too. He handles it nicely, and I know Alex, you're one to be able to take it too. very nice and tidy first part of the track from both, but Rhandoss did get better line through the exit to that final corner. Snail does fling to the left, hoping to shorten the gap up slightly, and it does work. He's now sniffing right at the back of Rhandoss, his nose, don't like to say it, but his nose in that ass. And he's now halfway through Rhandoss and pulling up into the lead. Very nice line there from Snail. Now, I will be trying to replicate that at some point later on. Oh, nice little sideways shunt there from Rhandoss, taking the lead. I believe it was a little bit of lag. Very nice and tidy as we flip back to Snail. Rhandoss managed to extend the lead to slightly more than he did at the top of the hill. It's because it's still a bit terrible, Alex. It is getting there. I know it's massively improving and it's only terrible to you guys. And Rhandoss did get, I believe, just unfortunately got hung up on the exit to the wall ride, taking a slightly bigger risk, and unfortunate there, just clipping into the top of the wood and throwing the car off the wall ride. Rhandoss, my man, I feel for you. And I do believe that this is the first, or I think it might be the second time that I've streamed a Rhandoss match. I believe it was the Vortex 1v1. But we will head across the Snail at the completion of the little jump skip here. There we go, it is nice and clean from Rhandoss, nice and smooth, just a little bit. With two wheels, but Snail, very nice and tidy application of the power, I believe. Sorry, a little bit of track wind in my throat. Snail just being very clean now. Thorough application, and pardon, there was the track wind coming out a little more. Very clean through the final section. We'll give a quick flip back to Rhandoss. I believe is crossing line 2. We see the 3:13.730 from Snail, and that does give Snail 2-0 lead going in to the second half of the first playlist. Snail putting in a nice strong performance, 3:13.730, 3:19.770 with a couple of mistakes there from Rhandoss, still only a couple of seconds off my very best time. On a very clean lap from myself it was as well. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong yet on rally. But as Alex does says, my times, they're not bad really. And I am getting better as well, which I do know, and I do appreciate someone as high level as yourself. Like, I appreciate it when Luke says it, and Jack. I put you up just in that bracket below, about to break into it, Alex. You're very close to being in that very top bracket of drivers, just a little bit more experience, and I do think you'll be there. And hello, Mobbin, how you going, laddie? It's a shame that Jack read that wrong and it's now completely changed to gents mobbing. I was never taking the mick out of you, I was taking the mick out of Jack for saying ladies. Alex, mate, I honestly, I do believe in the next few weeks, a couple of months, you will get there. Like, you just, like I say, you just need a little bit more of that high-end experience. And you'll get everything tied together nicely. Very tidy through that first section, and we're heading in to the potential first. Snail said that he wasn't going to go with the loop skip in the chat, and he has played some strong mind games with Rhandoss. Rhandoss did say he'd do it if Snail was in first. Snail said that he definitely wouldn't, and then pulls it out the back. Dirty, dirty Snail. I like it. Mobbing playing similar games, but not taking it quite so far as to announce his false tactics in the chat. Unbelievable scenes. Yes, exactly, Mobbing. Mind Game of Thrones going on right here. Snail did get into the head of Rhandoss. You could see Rhandoss tried to line up to get back in line for it, but it was too late, having believed what Snail had told him in the chat. Snail, you dirty, dirty little man. And Rhandoss, trying to push a little bit too hard, has got hung up on the top and fallen into the city. We are going to go over to Snail and start applying some of that pressure to him, and let's see whether he carries on with the skips and see what he does. I know, exactly, Alex. He said he wasn't, and he swung in really quite late for it, playing them clever mind games and just taking it a little step further than Mobbing. Maybe he saw what Mobbing did, heard the commentary appreciation to it, and just took it a couple of steps further. It will be so interesting to see how that plays out over the coming 1v1s and future tournaments. And Lazy, my man, enters the chat. Is now there are quite a few of you in chat. Again, I did say it in our group chat earlier, but I know that we do get a few more views on these videos at the moment than we do have in that chat, and I have more subscribers than in that chat. So a huge thank you to you all for the 100 subscribers. Snail does take the loop nice and clean, not taking the unnecessary risk. And he's playing mind games with the viewers too. Swinging in for the ramp skip and then pulling out of it, and he's teasing us like, oh my god, Snail! Snail, what are you doing to us, lad? Doesn't even go with the big loop skip. He's played some serious mind games, and he's taking full advantage of the time he's got. He's getting me hyped. The sweaty boy, I love it. I love it. Oh, that's rubbish, Fuckstone, man. No, man, get yourself in the Arena Workshop pays quite well, and the experience as well might help you get up to level 100, because the wheels 3 times as well. Well, no, it's changed the vent, it's the thingy races, sorry. Snail, nice and clean, across the line. Let's see the time there. A 1:43.069 without too many cuts, although that could be the first lap. Rhandoss, though, smashing that with the 1:40.119. Snail may have to take a cut. Snail may well have to take a cut, but he is honking that horn, honking it, appreciating the hype building up. And again, it is, oh, Snail, that is a risky backflip, and you brick a little bit on the landing. That is going to eat into some of your lead as Rhandoss is flying. Now, we are going to flip back to Rhandoss, and hello, Aldo. Hey, Tunsa2, how you going? And we've got official in chat. Rhandoss, unfortunately, fluffs up loop skip there, but he was having to go for it to try and close the gap on the filthy Snail. Played the early mind games in chat, telling Rhandoss he would not be going with the loop skip. Did the early first loop skip. Rhandoss, believing Snail, didn't go with it on the first lap, and then had to push hard to try and catch. And Snail has been able to force an extra mistake out of Rhandoss, and you have to respect it in these 1v1 situations. It's harder to deal with in a public lobby. I get it in playlists, practicing for this sort of thing, and I appreciate the style, and like Mobbin says, hey lazy, I will do my best and I will put in as much hype as I possibly can. It's what I always do try and do. Sometimes if it's a bit early in the morning for me, my levels do die down just a touch as my energy levels peter away. But when I'm full of energy, full of coffee and food, I can be a hype beast. And Asan, the goated one, enters the chat. And that isn't me underselling Mobbin. Mobbin also equally goated, but it is the nickname that a couple of the people that I'm regularly in a party with give to Asan. And Rhandoss saying his nerves are the boss of him at the moment. Rhandoss, dude, try and shake it off. You've still got the second playlist to come. But and like I did mention, I know this is only your second time being commentated on. This is, I believe, Snail's third or potentially fourth now. We did do the little beef 1v1 where Snail had to admit that being a bit of a stoner doesn't affect your driving. But Snail and Esco have put all of that behind them. A goat attack on stream, and like I know things seem to have gone a little bit funny at the moment, but I'm in pros, but I don't get into the politics of stuff, and I will continue to be as community friendly as possible. Your guys' channels will still get equal shout outs when you're in 1v1s, and you'll still get commentated upon. Like I have myself no issue at all with any of the other crews. And I'm not going out heavily recruiting anybody in those crews as well. It's like I'm not here to take away from anybody else, and I would like the competitive spirit to remain. But we do see Rhandoss having extended a nice early lead. It does appear, and I hope for his sake he's able to have shaken them nerves, wiped sweat from his hands, because we all know the level Rhandoss is at. It's exceptionally high, a very, very clean exit from both. I believe Snail did initially carry more pace out of the exit, but Rhandoss slightly lower, more controlled on the landing, allowed him to just pull away slightly towards the boost. And Kosovo Racer, how you going? And yep, that is completely true, my man. You need to be like relatively easy to deal with, be able to have a little chat here and there, and be able to discuss things here and there if you're a bit of a cunt. Sorry to put it so bluntly. Oh, and Snail is here showing Rhandoss some good sportsmanship in slowing up down the hill, making sure. And Mr. Kosovo Racer, he's La Foxtrot. Just trying to work. Do we know you're in game, Mr. Racer? But Rhandoss, after Snail showing some good sportsmanship, I believe there must have been a slight rick off the boost. We did just miss it, or I did. Snail did show good sportsmanship, but I believe rightly so, did hold and take the lead. Oh, and Snail's had a brick at the bottom of the hill. Now we do see Rhandoss has let off the throttle nice and early in the air, and he is now repaying back Yeah, that's just Andy's hello. It's not anything offensive from that Andy. That's why I give it the nice double and triple dab backs. And now it is nice and tight between the two racers again. Rhandoss and Snail having swapped position after the returned sportsmanship. Rhandoss back about where he was before the mistake at the second tube. And then after Snail's booking incident, everything is now really nice and clean through corners and out of the tube. But yeah, as I'm taking everybody as they come to me, if everybody's willing to work nicely with me and be open and positive and all that sort of stuff, I'm all good to work with them. I'm not going to hold personal differences from the past get in the way too much and that sort of thing. Obviously, if it's something too bad, then we're not going to get into that. Not going to be bringing people that have been thoroughly rejected from the community back in. I think you know sort of roughly what I'm aiming to. Nice clean exit from Rhandoss, I believe. Snail just drifting off to the right. And this time, oh, it was Rhandoss that drifted. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. It's the only way people are going to learn. Boss, my man, I'm sorry that I swapped to you there. As he says, and maybe getting to him, trying to use this situation to get more used to the commentary and the 1v1, but I am going to give you a bit of a break, Rhandoss, and head on back to Snail for now and let you get, hopefully, use this last lap to shake everything. Snail is very nicely waiting up so they can enjoy a little battle on the last lap. Snail has already confirmed this playlist, so there is no risk for him in doing this and being able to have that good battle and maybe allow Rhandoss to get back in to the swing of it for the second playlist. This is wonderful stuff from Snail, and after seeing the early mind games, it shows that it is all just a bit of bants. There is a good respect there, and he's very nicely weighted up on Rhandoss after the two mistakes through the final tube. Rhandoss has closed in enough that we will swap back to Rhandoss as they come across the line, as we can see Snail in the action. Now, Rhandoss, my man, just as I've said to a couple of drivers here and there, maybe just drive to 1 or 2% within your abilities, just try and keep it a little bit smoother. Shake your nerves. Like, we already all know how good you are. This is just a slightly newer element to it, so it does apply a little bit more pressure than we are maybe used to in the community. It is something you'll all get used to over the coming weeks and months. We do see Rhandoss with a really nice line through the tube. Snail has managed to extend the lead, but it's a good exit from Rhandoss, and that has caught it back up. Snail maybe letting off a touch too much, but he landed nice and smooth. He did pull away again a little bit before the boost And we see Rhandoss getting a little close to the fence. I believe it was lag, and he is closing back in through the corners. Very good, strong application and feathering of the power. Masterful there from Rhandoss. Nice line through the corner of the tube, but Snail getting on that boost line nice and early. Manages to hold his little bit of a lead as Rhandoss closing in again and is passing by Snail. Now Rhandoss slowing up a little bit more this time, lying in car up very well, but Snail has got, that is a nice, how low is he going? Is he going to get caught up on the bottom of the race? Oh, it looks good. It looks nice and clean. Snail is going to make the jump. He very, very close to the bottom. And Hassan, my dude, catch you next time, my man. Sleep well. And thank you, Ninel. I'm sure the guys will appreciate it. It has been very good 1v1. Snail has played a very good game so far and able to, looks like he's going to be able to take all 4 races in this first playlist. Rhandoss hopefully having shaken some of his nerves, and that is a wonderful clean low ramp skip, slightly lower than Snail's. Snail's also very clean, a little higher in the air. Rhandoss did shorten the time, and that I believe will be both. Yes, they are, Alex. They are both doing both playlists. Well, GG Snail Nova from Lazy, yep, repping the crew, the new crew, very well. We saw a 252.941 from Snail to the 251.45 from Rhandoss. Very good final lap from both, and again we must give a round of applause to both for the sportsmanship, and then again to Snail for waiting up before the start of the second lap so that we could have a nice battle between the two. Now, have I missed any other comments? And folks saying if you're still around, none of that was aimed at you at all. The chat I was having with Assam before, like you've been very positive and everything in my chats, and I know that you're quite well respected in the pros community. Hey, and mobbing, honestly, no problem. I have no issue not being able to understand everything here and there, and I understand that some people in the audience here and there may be from another country, and it might be easier for them to speak in their own languages from time to time. I have no personal grievances with that sort of thing. I just wish that my schooling had been better suited towards learning some languages for myself. Unfortunately, I am stuck with English, but I thoroughly respect everybody and anybody that knows a couple. Hey, and Kosovo, again, no problem at all. But I'm guessing with mobbing knowing you, I'm guessing you are in the communities. Have I met you myself yet? Mobbing, fully, like I say, fully respect it and fully understand when you come across. Yeah, but still, it is nice to just, for that initial hello sometimes when you meet somebody from your own country, to just enjoy that little fully comfortable welcome. This time, again, we see Rhandoss managing to hold the lead off of pole, getting a slightly higher entrance into the tube and getting onto the boost nice and early. Snail and Rhandoss pulling out of the tube, a little sideways from Rhandoss does allow Snail to pull into the lead. The exit a little bit rough on Rhandoss, the car a little bit hard to control, but not having lost significant amount of time. Snail has just gone round the right corner. You can see he was on the wood there, both getting the checkpoint nicely, obviously, both nice and clean without any checkpoint glitch affecting them. I am going to get rid of the HUD for a moment or two. Really nice and clean through the corners, and it does appear that Rhandoss is starting to rein in a little bit of the damage that was done. Does appear to have pulled slightly out of sight. We can't even see when I pulled the camera around. He's had a very strong boost, and you can see he has pulled away a significant lead. The speed carried has allowed it shortened. Snail now in a relatively comfortable position on this first race. Good brake boosting from Rhandoss again, nice and tidy into the tube, and Snail now well in sight. A good clean line from Rhandoss through this tube to really shorten the distance. Heavy on the brakes on the exit, and once he's in contact with the road, pulling heavily round to the left, swinging into the second lap. Both drivers, I believe, are going to beat my PB here. Yeah, 2:14.769 from Snail to 2:6. Okay, slightly above from Rhandoss, but only just, and that is a first lap with that big slide on the exit. This looks clean and it's low, closing the gap on Snail, and it does look like he's about to pass into the lead. Rhandoss slightly hung up on the fence though, and Snail passing through clean, and he's now able to have extended back, or retaken the lead and taken about the same lead he had at this point in the last lap. Nice and clean entry from Rhandoss, cutting across the tube at the bottom point, getting a good boost and a nice low exit. Really shorten the camera, that's the one we want to be on. Oh, we are going to take the pressure off of Rhandoss. Rhandoss did, again, I will just say that it's no excuse, but it has said that the nerves are getting to him a little bit. So we will shift over. Snail, put a bit of that pressure onto him, does appear to be handling it well. Like I did say, now getting quite used to it, with it being his third or fourth commentary stream. I believe Rhandoss has just had the one so far in Vortex's 1v1 tournament. Still something he's getting used to. We are nice and tight, just getting up on two wheels slightly as the car clips up on the curb. Missing the brake boost there, letting the car just drift back and forth across the curb. Oh, risky entrance into the tube. The car just clicking on its side and almost on its roof, but handled really nice. And again, a nice clean exit from Snail. Not taking too big a risk, but getting himself down to the ground nice and straight out of the tube, allowing him to take good advantage. Very nice and tidy through the section so far from Snail, having to let off heavy on the throttle. using a slight dab of brake, so he didn't go into the fence too hard, lines up, so he hit pink and then pulls down gently, again able to play it slightly safe, and maybe also just allowing Rhandoss to shorten the gap enough that there's no need to wait up too much on the line should Snail stay clean. Nice line, it was a fantastic entrance, it was a good transition between the tubes. And now as long as Snail doesn't make any big errors through the final section, first race will be going to him. The honk may be saying, not a chance. Nice, strong brake boosting down the straight from Snail, lining the car up into the tube and gets a lovely ramp skip into it. Lined it up really nice and well, didn't go for the final brake boost at the bottom of the hill, choosing to line the car up, gets a little brake boost I believe in the tube. Very interesting to see. I know Hard Product did mention in the chat that you can brake boost in the tubes on console and you cannot on PC. We are going to flick over Snail, and again we saw the back end of the car just bricked slightly, but it was so well caught then from Rhandoss that I barely had time to get that sentence out before it was all straightened back up. Nice line there from Rhandoss, different to the norm, but look, good and clean. Rhandoss choosing to go over the jump, with him being in second place anyway, not wanting to accidentally take the lead. Snail claiming a first race in the second playlist. Oh, fuck Stain, if you've not already, as I have done a couple of times, I thoroughly recommend you go out and check out one or two of Alex's earlier streams. I will try and, it's called, one of them is called, the one I'm mainly talking about is like called I'm Too Good, #1. It's amazing. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm so sorry, man. I can't help it. I do believe it will be one of the funniest videos I see in this community ever. But we are heading in to Rally. And I've got to, man. It gives you it's a way I can plug your channel nicely. I honestly do think it will be the funniest thing I ever see from anybody in this racing community, man. Your channel should be pretty big, honestly. So should quite a few of the others as well, obviously. Most, I believe, in my opinion. And we are going to start pushing that a little bit more over the coming weeks and months. That is my plan and what I hope to offer to the community a little bit here and there as I learn a bit more about renting and that sort of thing. But we have seen a very clean start from Rhandoss, taking a strong early lead. Nice extra bit of curves there from Snail, and now starting to close the gap a little bit as he approaches the dirt section. Really tidy but a little heavy off the wall. Really nice and clean, so clean. And both Rhandoss managing to hold the lead nicely, but Snail slightly reining it in as he takes the more aggressive line down the hill. Rhandoss stays nice and straight out of the tunnel, which gained him that little extra time at the beginning. And Rhandoss does, yeah, I'm not sure, it stayed about the same. Rhandoss initially pulling away. Snail clicking up on honestly, that first run of Zebra is one of my favourite clips in the history of YouTube. Rhandoss very clean with the wall ride this time, nice and smooth, handling it very nicely, going through. Oh, Rhandoss having to go nice and high, and Alex, I'm sure you'll hear me laugh like that at some point soon. And Lazy, my man, I'll catch you very soon. Nice, tidy through past the sign. This is going to be hopefully the beginning, the end of the nerves from Rhandoss. This has been a lovely, clean run in my eye. Nice application of power through the first tree section there. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of track piece. Nice and tidy into the entrance of that. Very tidy, a little bit wobbly. The handled so nicely, lines up on there. Lets off the power so he gets no spin out. Very well handled. I'll have to try and find that at some point, or if you can send me the link, Alex, I'll definitely give that a watch. We'll have a look at the times. The 3:12.315, 3:40 with a couple of mistakes from Snail has allowed Rhandoss to tie it up in the second playlist at 1-on-1. Nacho, what time's that, my man? I'll message in the chat in a second as well. Yeah, or swift comment back. Nice one, Alex. After this one, yep, no problem, my dude. If I can get like a 10, I'll message again. I know you struggle a little bit with English. Yeah, I'll change the camera so it's a better one. Just answering Nacho, and that will be me commentating Nacho versus Leo Geo. So that's Nacho and Leo's final matches from their group, so we will know. Well, I believe Nacho is already confirmed as through because Tyrese versus Waxy this week. We do see Snail has gained a nice strong lead, and sorry I did miss the beginning. I was just checking stuff with Nacho and just sending a message into chat. And hello Fluids, my man. Is, I believe it to be, with you now being fully in pros and all of that sort of stuff, you're a regular in the chat. It's time for that moderator shit. We see a nice, very, very nice loop skip from Rhandoss, getting the tyres very high up on the wall. Looks good, it's nice and clean, it's very clean. We saw from Snail of 1:45.716, 2:04, meaning Snail does have around the 20-second loop. Rhandoss getting hung up on the curbs on the exit of the loop skip, but managing to get the checkpoint, shortening a bit of a lost time. We are going to head over to Snail to allow some of the pressure to be on his shoulders. But now Snail with a good strong chance to take the playlist back to 2-1. Snail in a strong position. No, not in general Kosovo, where we more do non-contact within this community. I'd like to potentially at some point do a commentary stream with contact, because I believe it could be quite hilarious. But I know some of the guys are not going to take part in that, but others would be more willing and stuff and just have a bit of fun with it. But in general, we like to be able to stick to our lines as best as possible. And we see a very clean loop skip there from Snail, taking the risk this time. Again, I did enjoy the jokes, and it is all bants on my part. I do thoroughly respect the tactics that have been played out. And again, nicely done from Snail, showing that he does have all of the cuts down. He was just maybe playing slightly safe, and I thought it was going to be clean, but slightly too thick. It did take him over the edge of the track, but with the strong lead, able to take the risk. Oh, and Snail really thought about going for it, but hadn't lined it up quite right and had to pull the car back in after getting two wheels over the edge. Oh, close to the edge from Tail, getting it really close to the edge. Nice and tight, like a tiger from Snail. Only a little bit of a track between him and the edge. Oh, and it just flipped underneath. And yeah, that's the way it should be, Fluid. Definitely time for you to rep that tag a little bit. Gets you a little bit more access to the racing lobbies to help you develop a little bit quicker now. Your times are coming down really nicely as Snail gets caught up on the foot of the ramp, and he allowing the time as well to be shortened back, and us now within range to be able to finish comfortably. And awesome, thank you, Nacho. Just letting himself coast across the line. That does take Snail back into the lead at 2-1 with the final race still to go. See the 1:39.199 from Snail. Very nice lap time. Unfortunately, Rhandoss with the mistakes on the loop skip. 1:58.998. Rightfully so, mobbing. Should definitely have been commissioner. I should definitely be commissioner. We do see them head into the final track. This is Gauntlet and Alex, man, nice. Any chance they're liking a sticky barbecue sauce? We are with Snail at the moment. Rhandoss taking lead from pole. Oh, very nice. The barbecue, yes. Honey barbecue at that. Double yes. Very, very nice from Alex with his sticky barbecue honey glazed ribs. A little bit jealous, my lips starting, or my mouth starting to water. Really nice and clean entrance into the tube from both. Snail, you can see, closed the gap ever so slightly, and again through the final part of the tube, you see, unfortunate that Snail goes underneath the platform. Rhandoss nice and clean, keeping a nice height above, but Snail just able to take, with having confirmed that he's got the guaranteed points, was able to take a big risk on that exit to try and take the lead. This time, nice and safe from Snail. Go have a look at Rhandoss's second tube. We come on through. Tube to Rhandoss, nice clean line, got nice and close to the dividing barrier, and we see him swing round to the right, slowing up nicely, pulling it out at perfect point, and that is really clean. This time from Rhandoss, getting nice and early. Very nice fluids. I know they kept you out a little bit late at one of the two, and your hands got slightly cold, but still very nice. Mobbing with the mini barbecue yesterday, but it was a bunch of takeout meals. Still very, very tasty. I am maybe in the next couple of days going to have to order myself some barbecue food from somewhere nice. Little treat to myself, nice, clean. But the brick from Rhandoss, and we are going to see a quick reset here. Really nice and clean through the final corner after the mistake, and we are going to have a little flick. Yeah, that place There's a couple of points on this track that have heavy potential for bricking the hammer. This being another one, just before that boost. Just after the boost, as you hit the incline, as you pull to the left or right to skip the ramp. And there's the other after the tube exit, and here also, and then the final brick. So there's 4 heavy potential brick spots. That's it. I've just taken my eyes off it. Snail obviously just getting the entrance into the tube very wrong, clipping up on the track, and with that we will swap back to Rhandoss, allowing Rhandoss to hopefully fully show what he's all about. He's had a nice clean exit, he's got a nice strong lead, so that's that pressure off. Has 3 clean tube exits so far. Hopefully he'll get no bit time. So far they were not going to be the best, but 3:07.702 to 3:16.806. I'm imagining we will see some quite big improvements. With my Caj now, is that, I'm guessing that's a bit Cajun. Cajun? I'm a bit poor with my pronunciation. A bit Cajun chicken maybe? Really nice, tidy through both the exit, down the ramp and across the jump. Very tidy. Flip the camera around a little bit just to give us a view of the track. And we see a really clean final tube from Rhandoss, pulling across the curves, getting a little brake boost. We did hear the extended squeal off the tyre. No bricking incident this time. Oh, but the ramp cut a little bit too low, but his nose planting and pulling him round, but the lead is enough to sustain. And we could still see we did see an improvement still to 3:01.041. Would be expecting guys to come under a minute. Come under 3 minutes, sorry, under a minute would be damn right insane. Right, entirely through the final set of corners there at the beginning of the track. Nice entry into the tube, pulling through onto the boost line, nice and thick, and we get nice line through the tube, nice and tidy. Car drifting slightly to the left, but plenty of pink left to the left of his car, giving him that nice safety net. Will maybe have a little flick back to Snail, have a little look how it's coming along. Snail with a nice clean low exit, so not straight down but flat, and in the car dropping nicely, falling with good grace onto the track pieces below. Nice and clean across the boost and curb, swinging round the corner, letting off the throttle, dab of brakes, maybe swing. Oh, I thought he was swinging round the boost, but the fence pushing him back into it nicely, getting his speed back. as he carried a little bit more speed than he thought through the corner. The score is 2-1 Snail, as Alex says, and Snail did take the first playlist 4-0. Snail has got himself guaranteed 4 points. Rhandoss fighting and looking like he's confirming himself a point. Snail, I have to say, I didn't quite commentate it that well because I was just having a little chat about the score. But did you see the way Snail took that tube? He got so close to the dividing wall of that final divider, and it was a lovely tube exit, and then a lovely, fantastic bit of flair on the exit, swinging a little bit too wildly and letting the car spin head over heels. Just had to give Snail a little shout out for it. I did see it, I was watching it, but I had to get out what I was already saying so I didn't have to tangent off and come back. Cleaner way to do it. Rhandoss did wait up at the line for Snail, repaying the favour of the earlier wait, so we're not going to see improvement from Rhandoss. We may see the time from Snail still come down slightly. And with that does bring this playlist back to 2-all. That does get a point for Rhandoss. 4 for Snail, taking the scores to 10 points to Snail, 5 points to Rhandoss, and then we are going to have to make some sort of decision about the Spartacus situation, and I will be bringing you Nacho versus Leo Geo in roughly 20 minutes. I would like to say a huge thank you to both of the guys for letting me commentate the action. Do head over to both of their channels and check them out, because I am going to draw the stream to an end pretty quickly. Honestly, Rhandoss, it is my pleasure to give you guys my time. But again, do head over, check out Rhandoss's and Snail's channel. Also, head over and check out one or two of my other spanners in chat. And we will be back in around 20-25 minutes with Nacho versus Leo Geo. Thank you all very, very much, and goodbye.